back to Dwayne and Nadia, Food, Travel, and Fun. I'm Dwayne, and I'm back in the kitchen, having some fun. Tonight I'm gonna make an old favorite. This one is one we love, and the big part of why we love it is right here. Let me bring those nice and close. What do you think of that, huh? Those are Fall River Special Humi's flat Chinese noodles. We love the texture. We just prefer these over any of the round noodles we've tried. It's really a favorite, and to us this is what makes it. And I'm actually going to do a little something along with it, and got some hamburger buns here, some nice fresh ones that I'm going to show you later, and I'll show you how we present it and eat it and the way we love it. But this is a great recipe because there's really no limits. You can do what you like. You know, we're going to use chopped up, diced up chicken that I chopped up here, some bean sprouts, which are very common, a very common ingredient. I use a little bit of chopped up mushrooms, some onions, some celery, and we actually went there. I don't know if you can actually read that, but I'll make sure I get a picture of that so you can see it. That is what is used to actually make the gravy mix, to make the sauce. And that is their own recipe, their powder, and that is what we're going to use. We're going to bring everything together in a bit of chicken stock, and that's really all it takes. So it takes a little bit of time. I'll probably start with the onions and the celery because I want them to cook down nice and end up nice and soft. And nice to have those nice and tender. Get the chicken and the mushrooms in there. Make sure everything cooks up nicely and plate it up, and I'll show you what we got. So I'll show you it cooking as we go, and I'll head over to the stove right now and let's check it out. It's nice, simple. This is a great, easy, not a lot of time after work kind of, let's make a fast dinner, make something quick that's really good. So see you soon. So welcome back, everybody. And as you can see, I've got about almost 3 quarts of chicken stock added into this pan, and it's boiling away pretty nicely. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, I wanted to get these veggies softened up nice and tender. So adding in the onions and the celery and giving them a little extra time to cook. And while that's softening and cooking, put that aside, I'm going to make up the gravy. So I got about 3/4 cup of very cold water and at least 1/3 cup here of the actual mix. And it says to use about a heaping tablespoon, and I've done this a few times and it makes for a very thin sauce if you go by the recommendation. Personally, if you actually were to get the Humi mix, I recommend about double what they say. As a nice, because it's nice to have a nice thicker sauce. It really grabs everything. So I'm going to mix it into my cold water here. Try not to make a mess. While this is coming back to a boil, it's just coming back now. That's good. And there we go. Like I said, you really want to use nice cold water for this to dissolve. It's basically like a cornstarch, just like you would with cornstarch flour, any of those. The best way to dissolve them is cold water, and you really do want to do the dissolving before you add it into your mix, and that helps you avoid any lumps. I'm not going to add it in just yet, but I just wanted to show you. See, it ends up with a nice color. And I'll tell you a little bit more. So we actually, in this area, they make something called the chow mein sandwich. And the chow mein sandwich is really popular in Fall River, southeastern Mass, and I guess it's probably spreading to other areas as well. I have a friend with a restaurant up in the Taunton area, and he's serving up his chow mein sandwiches, and apparently they're selling great. So I'm going to show you how we serve it up that way. Another thing that we do with our chow mein that I actually didn't get into the habit of it until I was much older, and it's adding vinegar to the mix. Vinegar just adds a bite to it that once you've done it, then going back is next to impossible. So yeah, so I'm going to be adding a little bit, just plain white vinegar. It adds quite a the perfect accent to this. So let me see how these veggies are looking. Oh, the onions are starting to clear a little. They're still not quite clear enough. So, and the celery still looks, they're both another minute or so, and I'm going to start adding, actually even right now I can add in the mushrooms. No harm done there. That goes in. It'll probably stop the boil, yeah. All right, everyone. It is boiling nicely. It just came back. As you saw, I did some nice stirring and mixing, and while this has a nice rolling boil, I'm going to add in this gravy, this little mix to make it into sauce. Here we go. And yep, it's starting to thicken up very quickly. Very nice. As soon as this returns to a boil, we'll have that nice thick consistency. It's just going to come back. And you can see it's starting to get a little thick there. Here comes that boil. And that's what you want. You should just get a nice brown color. It's still fairly clear. It's really like a light colored gravy. And you know, I'm looking at the thickness here. A little thinner than I want. So believe it or not, even though I added in all of that powder, I'm going to add a bit more. I want it even thicker. So I'll be right back. All right, so I've added about half as much this time. And let's mix this in. Get that mixed up. Get in there. And it's mixing it up nice and easy. Once again, very cold water, always cold water. And let's see how thick we get it this time. It is looking pretty good. That's pretty close, but we are, we really do love it to be thick and just grab everything. So let's bring this back. Now it's really thick. It's like an actual gravy consistency. Whereas before it was just a bit thinner than that, and it kind of ran off the spoon a little too easy. So as soon as this comes back, let's see, yeah, she's just about to boil. And I can feel it. It's like going through a stew. It really is. Let's see how this runs off here now. Oh yeah, see, nice and slow. Nice. That is our chow mein sauce ready to go. So let me plate it for us and try it out, and I'll show you what we got. I'll be right back. All right, so welcome back, and this is what we do, the moment I've been waiting for. So got my bottom of my hamburger bun here. I am gonna cover that in a nice little pile of noodles. Just like my mom never showed me to do. I don't remember my mom ever showing me to make chow mein, you know, sandwiches, but we made chow mein. I just don't, and I don't remember vinegar either. See, Mom? Vinegar. So I know you'll be watching. So I'm gonna add a nice little bit more. That looks like a nice pile. And now I'm gonna dig into this sauce. And as you can see, it's really, oh, it's still steaming hot and beautiful. So let's get nice, pour that right over there. And do not be skimpy. Don't go halfway. If you're gonna do it, enjoy. This is definitely, I think, as close as Chinese comes to comfort food. So, and I like to see a little pool in the bottom when I'm done here. And I'm gonna do one last bit. We top it off, make it an official sandwich. But, you know, once again, a little bit of that, and voila. That is the chow mein sandwich. And guess what it needs? The final ingredient. Oh, look, Nydia is sneaking in to my
My
video.
hands are sneaking in.
She's taking it away. It was totally visible.
Yeah,
I
but
had,
now you can get a real close-up of your...
so, of my, well, I want to start on the edges first. I want to
Put vinegar?
oh yeah. Oh yeah. And that's another reason to make it thick, is because you're going to add vinegar to it, which is just going to kind of thin it out on you. And we don't want it thin. We want it to grab everything. And here, let me show you a nice little sneak peek as to what every growing boy needs. And there you go. A nice view of, see, we'll spin it around for you. Doesn't that look yummy? And trust me, it is. It's not just a visual. There's a few extra senses involved here. And we haven't had this in a while. And I think it's long overdue. So, I am enjoying every last bit of this. And I'd like to thank you for tuning in. All right. I'll stop chewing just for you guys. And it was fine. It's still, no. Thanks for tuning in. Dwayne and Nydia, Food, Travel, and Fun. Remember, subscribe, tell your friends, and we'll see you next time in Dwayne's Kitchen. Thanks.